Hello, friends. Welcome to a new story of What If a Chozo Girl Trained Deku. Part 1. It's not happening, kid, said a doctor as a young green-haired boy was struck with the shocking news with a mix of consternation and dread. The hours after the heartbreaking revelation were taken by the boy looking at reruns of the #1 hero at his greatest moment. The boy's mother tried her best to comfort the boy, but this only compounded the heartbreak. "I'll tell you what," said the boy's mother, "we'll go back to the doctor tomorrow and see if he can help." The next day, the boy and his mother revisited the doctor. The doctor said to the boy, "I don't know what to tell you, kid. As heartbreaking as the news must be, try accepting it. The sooner you do that, the sooner you can move on. If there's woods nearby, taking a walk there always helps the mind." The next day, the boy and his mother took a trip to the nearby woods and took a walk. The green-haired boy did feel better surrounded by the trees and the sounds of birds. It was at this moment the two came into a clearing and saw knocked down trees forming a line. Instinctively, the green-haired boy followed this until he and his mother came to a clearing where a light green aircraft of unknown design lay, having somehow made a crash landing. The boy's mother tried to talk her son out of it, but he was already next to a door. The door opened for the boy, and he entered. Walking through the interior, he came to a control room of sorts and found a girl sprawled on the floor. The boy cried out in surprise because realizing it was a person who needed help. Taking a look at her, he thought she had some sort of parrot quirk. Gripping her, the boy used all his strength, and pulled the parrot girl out of the crashed aircraft. "Izuku, you almost gave me a heart attack. I told you not to do stuff like that," said the boy's mother. "Mom, I found someone. She needs help." Hours later, at the hospital, the girl awoke and looked at her surroundings. She saw herself laying in a bed dressed in a gown with an IV in her arm. At her bedside slept a boy with green hair and a woman with hair of the same color. The boy roused, then spoke in a language she didn't recognize. The woman that was with the boy was soon awake and summoned a doctor. Soon, a man in a white jacket entered the room and attempted speaking to the girl in the same strange language. The girl spoke in her native language, and the man left. Moments later, a different man entered the room dressed as the last one as he said to the girl, "Hello miss. I'm Dr. Misaki. I heard you survived a plane crash." The girl with brief shock said to the doctor, "Yes, although it's not an aircraft. It's my ship. I crash-landed her after my ship made an emergency jump attempting to escape space pirates." Interesting story. "So you claim to be an alien?" "Yes, my people call ourselves the Chozo. I apologize if my story confuses you. How do you understand my language?" In reply, the doctor said, "I have a translation quirk that allows everyone within a certain radius of me to understand what everyone within it says as if they speak whatever is being said as if it was their native language." "I see," said the Chozo as she asked, "what exactly is a quirk?" There was shock on everyone's face. The doctor spoke up and said, "You can say they're sort of like a superpower or abilities one is born with." "Do those two have a power like you say?" asked the Chozo. "Well, I can move small objects," said the boy's mother. The Chozo turned to the boy and asked, "And what power do you have?" Tears streamed down their boy's cheeks as he said, "I don't have one, but I always wanted to be a hero and save people, and I was told I couldn't be one by the doctor." "So you want to help save people?" asked the Chozo. The boy nodded. "I believe I can help. Call me Cyan Heart. Even though you have no power, I've seen plenty with no powers you call quirks save people all the time. You don't need some superpower to save lives. I'll train you to be a hero. That I can promise you." The boy hugged Cyan Heart. 10 years later, the same green-haired boy sat in his chair drawing new battle moves he could do. Of course Bakugo still tried putting him down, but it stopped phasing him years ago. It was just the same old rhetoric he had heard before, and it no longer mattered. The teacher announced the career path assessments, and then dismissed it, claiming that everyone wanted to take the hero path. However, when he read that both Izuku and Bakugo would be attending UA, the entire class was in an uproar. Bakugo confronted Izuku saying, "Deku, only one of us is getting into UA and it's only going to be me." "Support course," answered Midoriya as he got up and said to the teacher, "Sense, I have an appointment today and I wish to take my leave." The teacher said Izuku could leave, and the green-haired boy did just that. Bakugo was speechless. Deku didn't even react. Something he wasn't aware of was going on, and he was going to find out. Arriving at a mall, Izuku saw Cyan Heart with her blue plumage and was dressed up. Seeing Izuku, she rushed over and greeted the green-haired boy. This was one of the many dates she and Izuku went on since they began dating 2 years ago. Many people had animal quirks, so the sight of a boy was a parrot girl was more or less a common sight. Today it was a movie the two were seeing. As for Izuku, he kept the fact he had a girlfriend to himself. He didn't want Bakugo to spoil things between him and Cyan Heart. The 2 hours were enjoyable, and after the movie two had an early supper, and as they walked out Izuku heard an explosion. 2 flashes of light were seen as both Izuku and Cyan Heart were nowhere to be seen. On a street corner, Bakugo was fighting a losing battle against a sludge villain. Moments later, the sludge was forced off the blonde hothead by a kick from a figure clad in a green and platinum suit of armor. The sludge villain hurled himself at the armored figure, only to be splattered midair by a punch. Before anyone could intervene, the figure was gone. An hour later, Izuku and Cyan Heart came home as Inko Midoriya cried out, "Izuku! I told you not to do that over a dozen times." Rushing over, Izuku saw it was him in his power suit saving Bakugo from the sludge villain. Izuku laughed to himself as he said, "I have to remember that." The search remains for the mysterious armored savoir as he made yet another rescue. While his intentions good and in line with the true hero, he remains unlicensed. Any information on this individual is highly requested, and if anyone has any information about his whereabouts or identity, we urge you to notify the police. Izuku, you know you must have a license to save people like that. I know, Mom. If I hadn't acted, Bakugo would have potentially died. I guess you're right. Please be more careful next time. There was a knock at the door. Who could that be? Asked Inko as she got up and walked to the door. Opening it, she saw Bakugo there. Bakugo. What brings you here? Where's Deku? I'm here, Kakan. What do you want? Where is it? I know those were your eyes I saw under that visor. Where's what? Whatever, nerd. It's not like I needed saving back there. Quirkless Deku. That guy really hates you, said Cyan Heart. Tell me about it, said Izuku. It's because he has a quirk and I don't. It really stopped mattering to me. Well, dinner's ready, said Inko as the three went to the table. Months later, it was the day of the UA entrance exam, and both a green-haired boy and a blue-feathered girl walked towards the building with determination on their faces, ready to blow away the competition. And that'll do it for part 1 of our story. If you would like to see what happens next, please consider liking this video and subscribing to my channel.